Hello.
Hey guys.
Connect, make audio now.
Yeah. Can y'all hear us?
Yeah.
We can now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, hold on. They made us re-update, download the freaking Zoom app, so I'm trying to see if everything's working right.
How y'all doing?
Y'all good?
How's it going?
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. So, everybody, obviously, this is a new format. The interview that was originally scheduled for today is going to be on Zoom, so you guys will probably see this on Tuesday. But we're going to get right started. If you guys are not familiar with who we are, personally, I'm not exactly sure who that is, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm Dev. This is Dani. We are the founders of Black Poly Nation. And if you've been following us, we've been doing a series of interviews with people we consider to be influential within the Black polyamorous community. Some of our supporters, just trying to get a diverse representation of Black polyamorous relationships. And today we have yet another opportunity to do so. So,
just give a brief description of who you are.
You mean like our page or just about us specifically?
Just about you guys. Just
either or.
Where you from?
Yeah, just a brief intro. Yeah,
okay.
Where you guys are located, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So we're from Houston, Texas. I'm Daylisa.
I'm Rashawn.
And we started. I would say. Well, y'all might ask us about this. So I won't get into all that. Yeah, but we're from Houston. We're poly. That's the gist of it right now, because I don't know exactly what you guys are gonna ask us, so I don't want to spoil it before we get there.
Back to
So how long have you guys been polyamorous? Have you always been, or is it something new? Or
you want to answer first?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, so I think for me, I want to say it was maybe like underlining for like before like a long time. It's just that it wasn't like something that I knew like to put a name to it, like what it was. I knew I was interested in both women and males, and it was never like, okay, I could actually do it where I could have both partners. So it was kind of like, oh, I would just deal with the female, or I would just deal solely with a male, or it was like it was more socially acceptable for me to just be with a male, and then I would just have my interaction with females. And so later on, I started seeing like, okay, this is something that's actually something that I can actually do, and that is possible. So I kind of just, that's basically the gist of it. And what about for you?
For me, she the one brought it up to me. I wasn't really interested in it or nothing, but as she started telling me about the perks and the cons, you know, and I started weighing out the options, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And
it took years.
Yeah, it took years. Yeah, it took a while, long time.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Well, how long have you guys been together? How long have you been, I guess, actively polyamorous?
Is it 10 years?
Yeah, so now we've been together since 2010,
so
December 2010.
Yeah, so it's almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess I've been trying to, I was trying to open his mind to it for about, it was like, now it's like, would it be like 3.5, 4 years?
About 3 years, 3 to 4 years.
No, because I was working on you for like 2.5 years. He was like, I think like this 2017, is a test.
Yeah, I thought it was a test. I thought she was trying to get me. Just see if I was interested in other women instead of her. Right. So
yeah, so it took like 2.5 years. So me personally, I was ready like a while ago. So for him, I think for sure, I want to say like, let's just say 2 years. Let's do 2 years. He was like on board.
Yeah.
What made you change your mind and say? I mean, I've noticed that in polyamorous relationships versus like more polygyny or polygamy, or even in polyandrous ones, that in polyamorous relationships, it tends to be the women or wives, when there's an established relationship, are the ones who kind of introduce that conversation. I know it's true for me. I've seen it on a lot of different people who discuss it. What made you decide that, like, you know what? Okay, I know we've been talking about this for a while, but I'm down now. What was the turning point?
So turning point for me, I would say okay, so it's kind of weird. Okay, I was laying in bed, and like every night for about maybe a whole year straight, she'd be playing this poly stuff in my ear, just on laptop, on YouTube, listening to different relationships. So I guess you can say she programmed me. Nah, but I saw, like I said, the cons and the pros on it. It really weighed out more for us, like with our family, what we want to do, want to build.
Just our
So
overall goal.
our overall goals at the end, it'd be like, be poly.
That's what's up.
Speaking of family, how did you guys' parents think of this new lifestyle?
Okay, so my father, he down for whatever.
Yeah.
So my mom, she kind of traditional, so she like 2 women. No, that's not, normal. And she was mad at me maybe for the first, what do you say, maybe a couple weeks.
Actually, I feel like she felt 2 different ways.
Yeah,
Like,
she didn't think we were serious. Okay, so she wasn't mad at first. Then when she found out we were serious, we were dating somebody, then that when she kind of went.
yeah, because initially it was all like fun, like, oh, not necessarily fun, but it was more like she was like, okay, I can see the benefits of that because she didn't have both of her parents growing up because one of them ended up passing away.
Yes.
So she was like, it would have been nice to have that additional mother figure there and present for me to have in life. So that's initially how she took it in. And then I think when it was really like in your face type situation, it was like, whoa, okay, I don't know exactly, like, this is a little different than what,
She
like
pictured,
the standard.
Yeah, standard
situation.
Traditional marriage. So
Gotcha.
what about you?
So my family, I think my family knows that with me, it's kind of like they can't really say too much because I'm gonna do what I want to do anyways. My dad was like, my dad has this joke where he feels like I like control him or whatever, right? Mind you, I'm only like 5 feet. Okay, I'm not doing too much. I'm not like beating them up and stuff. But my dad's like, hey, if you need help, just let me know. Hey, just let me know. She didn't con you into this. My mom was like, oh, hell no. She was like, no, I don't agree with this, and whatnot. But then again, they're just like, they don't, with me, like, they don't have a choice. It's like, you're either gonna be cool or you're not gonna be cool. And if you're not gonna be cool, then we're just not gonna be cool. And that's just what it's gonna be.
Okay, so the last time that we saw you guys, we're not going to go too much into detail, but the last time we saw you guys was at a event that we held in Houston, Texas called Polyjam. And it was also one of the reasons why now afterwards, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys because a lot of people, they look at poly and whichever dynamic you choose, whether you want to be solo poly, you want a tribe, a triad, open, close, whatever, they look at it and they think like, oh man, this must be easier than cheating, or this must be easier to do this because it's not really about anything but sex. Can you talk about like, when it doesn't go right, when it doesn't work out, and how you navigate getting over that and then getting back into the dating scene?
I think people forget that it's still a relationship. Like every relationship needs work.
Yeah.
Every relationship, you have different personality styles. You have different traumas, whether it's from childhood, whether it's from the relationships that you've been in. So all of that works together. I will say, like, the fact that everything is like off the rip is supposed to be really transparent, and we all know that we want to operate out of integrity, and we just want to be present and be there for each other. I feel like that's a big pro in polyamorous relationships. Whereas when somebody feels like they're not, I guess, living out their truth and they're cheating and doing things behind each other's back, that's where that lack of trust kind of comes into the relationship. So, it's not necessarily easy. I'll say there's certain perks about it that make it kind of where everybody is really just able to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you're coming to the table with. I feel like the big things that we personally dealt with in our previous relationship was like previous traumas, like things that happened to them in previous relationships that they hadn't necessarily healed those areas. And so they had created mechanisms to deal with those things, to protect themselves. And whether that's now you're becoming passive aggressive, or you have sporadic like outlashes that you don't really know where it stems from, but it's obviously coming from there, or kind of wanting to move a certain type of way, and it's like, hey, we're supposed to be doing this together, and it's like, oh, well, I'm used to doing it like this, or I feel like I have to be in your face about it, because before I had to make sure that I did that so somebody could just pay attention or hear what I'm saying. And if somebody is not fully ready to go through the process of breaking down those barriers and wanting to heal those areas, and really like 100% want to say like, hey, I want to change myself from dependent on these mechanisms, so that I can actually function properly in a healthy relationship, then there's nothing that I can do for that other person. There's nothing that he can do for the other person. There's nothing that they could do for us if that's not something that we individually wanted to do. So it's a process, and there's some very, very beautiful parts, and then there's some parts that's not, that's not so, I guess, like rainbows and butterflies.
Gotcha. What about you?
She basically nailed it. She nailed it.
He's real chill though. Like just his personality, just in general, he's real, real chill. I mean, you have to really do something to set him off. So it's not really like he joking. It's real, just chill.
Gotcha.
So do you guys only date together, or do you guys date separately as well?
We date together.
Okay. What's the dynamic look like? What's the preferred dynamic?
I would say close triad.
Close triad.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying that right now because I mean I don't have like I can't just be like I don't have that much experience in the other areas, so I don't want to say that's off the table.
Options, yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm just going with what I know as far as the triad.
Gotcha. Why do you think? And I just want to follow up really quick. Why do you think? And I asked this to the last the Posey team that we just interviewed, or Team Posey, I'm sorry, that we interviewed last time. Why do you think that triads, whether they're open or closed, get a bad rap, and why do you think they are, in some cases, overrepresented when it comes to dynamic traits?
I think because
I had to.
That's a question.
I feel like it's complicated. I think because people like fantasize about triads. That's like I think it's just like it's almost like the reason why I feel like people don't like or like it's hated is because with polyamorous relationships, a lot of people feel like, okay, well, I should be able to have multiple of those. Why do I have to just be secluded to these two other people? And it's like that's just somebody's preference. Like it doesn't mean that there isn't beauty in all the other ones. Because I don't say, oh my God, I can never be in a polycule or something like that. Like, that's not off the rip. So I just think it's like that's like the main thing that you see. It's like, oh, it's a guy and it's two girls. Wow. And it's like, wait, what about us? So I think that's where the negative backlash comes from. And then, a lot of people are just like, oh my God, like I just want two women and it's a guy with two girls. So that's why it's like fetishized. Or even like when it's female, male, like people look at that and it's like, what, how, some people have like a negative connotation about that. And it's like, okay, that's just that person's personal preference. Like it still works, it's still beautiful in its own right, and it's nothing wrong with that.
That's true. Nobody was, how I said when we left down the conversation, the triads.
Oh no, I was going to ask you. You guys are very vocal on social media about being polyamorous. How has that affected you guys' dating life?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Dating life.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we know that like sometimes a lot of couples that we talk to who prefer to date together, whether it's a closed triad or even in our cases, we have multiple partners together. Sometimes when you are a little bit more visible or a little bit more vocal, your social media, people may know you or recognize you. It may have an impact on who pursues you.
And the people that are currently dating you. Do you feel like sometimes they may be a little bit more insecure because you are more, visible on social media?
The idea.
You got me on that one.
It's no, I'm saying like, you know, I don't know. You can talk about that one though. About the people. It's complicated because you do it.
Yeah.
Like open subliminals, and it's like it's not like an open door.
Yeah. It's weird, man. They like you get weird DMs and stuff about like I guess everybody get open invitations on. They think it's
for everybody. We for everybody. Everybody.
Can they get pictures of us? It's weird. I mean, it's weird people. I don't know what to say.
We get unsolicited stuff, and it's like I don't even know you, man. Like this, you showing me that it's not doing anything for me. Like I don't know. What's I supposed
you
to
be
do?
putting up those thirst traps.
It's like, damn, like, my thing is, I don't mind like somebody saying like, "Hey, I'm interested." That's fine. I don't mind, you know, somebody being direct and straight up with it. That's fine. But I think it's the
disrespect, like the sending nudes and be like, "Hey, I want you now," and
it's like, whoa, there, slow it down.
You got a bill, man.
I don't even know who you are. This body part means nothing to me. I don't even know you. So what am I supposed, you know, what am I supposed to do with that? Or you get or you get the ones that is just like I don't want to say like bandwagoners or like groupies, I guess. And it's not like for real, like, and it's like, okay, like, are you genuinely trying to, you know, build a relationship with us, or is it just like, okay, I just want to be in the scene type situation?
Yeah, it's
a lot of it being seen. I want to be seen on the scene with you.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and like that's like true. I want genuineness. Like I want, you know, I want it to be for real. Like I'm not out here to be just faking it or doing it for the gram or like social media clout. Like that's not. I really want like a genuine relationship, somebody that we genuinely vibe with, somebody that has like our same goals and aspirations. Like they, all the extra stuff. Like that's cool, you know. But if you're not serious about building a genuine relationship and having a genuine relationship with both of us, then don't come our way with that. Or if it's like, oh, I like him or I like her, and it's like, you clearly see this is both of us. Like together, there's no way that, you know, that is this is over here and it's over there. And that's not, you know, currently what we're doing. So it's like, I don't know, it's just but we get some interesting characters in the DM. Like it's
Do you guys think that okay, so we get a lot of people, and obviously we show diversity of content. We show, you know, pretty much whatever is out there. If it's polyamory and people are putting themselves out there to be seen, we've kind of showcased it or talked about it. But we do get a lot of inquiries from couples to ask certain questions, and for us, we try because we know couples get a lot of shit, especially once they date together. So I know that this was one question that actually a few people sent in is, how do you, because you kind of brought it up, two questions. Well, I asked just as one and then I'll come back to it. How do you deal with people who only want to engage with just one of you guys and it's adamant that they only want to talk to one of you guys? How do you deal with that? Well, because I mean, yeah, right. Go for it. Because I know it happens a lot.
So we basically share the page together, me and her. So we see everything. So pretty much if she not feeling that person, she tell me cut them off. Or if I'm not feeling that person, you know what I mean? If you coming at us for a single us out, like we're not even into it. Like
so it's just right from the gate. Like if you ain't talking about both of us, I'm not trying to hear it. There's no conversation.
Can you see yourself with her? And they say no, and then what we talking about? Like
right.
Kind of or like if I just get somebody that's a lesbian and it's like, if you're not bisexual, that doesn't really work. It just doesn't work. And I'm really sweet, you know, but sometimes you got people that like say some crazy shit and then you got to check them off the back and then it's like, oh my god, you know, then they feelings hurt.
You,
and it's like, okay, but I came at you nicely. I explained the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very clear. And then it's still like, or you got the ones that'll like try to fake it. Like, but I'm like, when we're having conversation, it shows like we're addressing this person solely, right? Just, or it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go out my way and I'm gonna send this to this person's phone, or you know, and it's like, okay, well, I haven't heard from you in like 3 days, so what's up? Or it's like, oh, it's like, or they might. This is just an example. They're like, let's just say somebody messaged and they're like solely saying it to him, like, oh, hey, good morning, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, we're all in here. So like, am I chopped liver or what? You know? Yeah. And this is like, okay, like, how did you think that was going to slide? Or even if it's like, okay, they go for a little while and it's like, okay, it's been a couple weeks. We thinking, okay, maybe. Then it's like the phone conversations. It'll be like, oh, okay, you calling me all the time. You haven't called him. So what's going on there? Or you calling him, but you haven't hit me up. So, you know, what's really going on? It's like, oh, well, then it's, oh, I've never been with a woman. And it's like,
yeah, how does that ever going to work?
Okay. Like, don't,
that literally sounds like conversations we've had before. So yeah, I feel your pain.
It's like, okay. I mean, I don't mind, like, if you're open to it, but that's something that you kind of say at the gate, like, hey, I think you're attractive, but I've never been there before. So that way we know what we're getting into. Don't just try to fake it, you know, initially, and then it's like later on we start to see, because then you just wasted our time.
Is there any chance you guys would ever do a quad situation?
A quad?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Many people. I like my triangle.
He's sociable, like out, like if we're out, but like he doesn't deal with too many people like up close. Like he's super chill. So if it's like too many people, and then if you got like 3 women that's involved, and then him, that's to be a lot of. Or if it's another male, like so
another male.
He's so you see.
So we get a lot of people too, who couples specifically, who ask about, and to me, I don't know, I mean, this is just the way that we go about it, but they always ask, well, if we date together, who goes out and chooses the partner? I don't even like phrasing it that way. But who goes out and gets the additional partner? I mean, I'll let you guys answer. I mean, you probably maybe heard us talk about it before, but is that something you both do? Is that something only one person does? How does that process go?
It's both.
It's both, yeah.
I think that
if we see somebody like we out and we see somebody who's cute, like, I might tap her and be like, hey, look over there, and she'll look.
I'll be like, I'll be like, hey, yeah, right there. You get it. I think a big thing is, I feel like people know who they're in a relationship with. Like, no matter if you try to like pretend that you don't, like, you know what caliber of person that you're with. So you know how they operate. Are they seriously operating out of integrity? Are you doing this because they previously cheated and you're trying to like mitigate their habits? You know, then that's something different. But if you know that this person is if they're the people that they're gonna come in contact with, they're gonna, at the forefront of their mind, they're gonna be checking off to see, okay, is this somebody that would be a good pair for both of us? And are they gonna complement where we both are desiring to go, our family dynamic, and our specific goals and aspirations, and just like would they mesh well? So I don't really have that issue with him, because he's shown that like if he's talking to somebody, that's what he's thinking about. Like, okay, how would they interact? Me and her might have something that's in common, that then we have good conversation and stuff like that. But what about them two? Is there some kind of connection that they would have also outside of me, instead of him like being stuck in the middle? And it's genuinely, we all have our own individual relationships with one another and then together. So that, I feel like that plays a really, really big part. You need to know who you're dealing with. And if if you know that the person's going to do right and is looking out for your best interest, then I don't feel like there's an issue with either person. What did you say? Looking for, or
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like
right.
right.
Dating.
Deciding who y'all start to be involved with.
Right.
You think I'm a bad person? I'll be out here like, you be like, nah.
So my question was actually going to be, are you guys currently dating?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment.
No, we dating.
You mean like actively, or
like
you mean
with somebody,
like,
or we looking?
or you mean like mingling?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Okay, actively hardcore dating, no.
No.
Mingling, yeah.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people give shit to couples when it comes to, and a lot of times a couple because we have a couple of days together. So I'm just bringing a lot of questions that they tend to ask us and just getting feedback from somebody other than ourselves.
Like you talking about that couple can't date around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
So for some reason, like this is a stigma when a couple dates together, or if they date together and separately, that for some reason, like they're obligated to like only talk to or engage with one person at a time, and that you already have each other, so that should be enough that you only talk to. Like we're not afforded the same opportunities as like a solo poly person to kind of like cast their net and see what's out there, and you engage with a few people at a time and let those relationships develop organically. What do you say, or what's your philosophy behind it? Are you like a fishing rod one at a time, or do you cast your net and then kind of see what develops?
We just talk to them, and we don't.
You casting the net.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. You're a net caster. You don't talk to people individually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Yeah. But I feel like that's even like when you're in a monogamous, like you're not supposed. Yeah, you talk to several different people to see what you like, what you don't like. Cause just imagine you talking to one person, you talk to them for 6 months, and it's like, no. Then it's like, well, damn, I wasted 6 months, and I'm back at zero, and it's like, okay, well, where do I go from here?
Yeah.
You got to start all over again, and it's like, okay, well, let me see if this works, and then another 9 months, and then if it doesn't work out, or you find out, okay, like it's just not compatible for whatever reason, then it's like, no, we should have the same options as everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So I prefer to cast my net and see what happens. I don't believe in because I'm already with somebody, an established relationship, that somehow I should just be grateful enough to have one additional person at a time. It's kind of like, I'm good.
So are you guys coming to politics?
Great question. That's an excellent question.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In Galveston?
In Galveston?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're going to be there.
Yeah, we're coming to turn up. For sure.
Awesome. What was it was somebody asked me something they wanted to ask you guys specifically. I forgot that. I have to go back to that one. But obviously we can't go through an interview without asking this question, because we pretty much ask everybody, because it's a trending topic when you talk about polyamorous relationships. How do you deal with jealousy? What advice do you give someone who is dealing with jealousy? How do you view jealousy? Is it natural? Is it something that people can just get over? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
You go first.
No, you go first. You can tell about your specific experience. That way, like how you feel, and then like what that was like for you.
Jealousy is going to be there, man. I don't know.
You don't want to go into specifics?
You go first. Yeah,
no,
I don't know how. No, I'm saying you go first. I'm trying to think.
Okay, me personally, I feel like jealousy and envy. Jealousy can grow into envy. I feel like jealousy. I don't want to say. I feel like it can be natural, but I don't feel like it has to be there. And I think that plays a big part in just communicating in your specific relationship. And then my thing is also figuring out, why is it that you're feeling that way? I think a lot of people just don't want to get the root out. And they kind of just use the mechanisms and, blow up, or, have spouts. And then it's like, okay, now you're like taking the whole energy that we have going on, because you're dealing with something internally that you haven't taken the time out to backtrack to see where it's coming from. We were actually talking about this like the other day because I've never really been a person that's been like, and him either, a person that could see something that was really beautiful in somebody else and be like, oh, I'm mad because that person is great at that, or they're better in that area than what I am, or etc. It's like everybody is special in their own way. So the beauty in somebody else doesn't take away from my own. And so it's like, and then especially if it's something petty, like, oh well, she's a better cook than I am, and it's like, okay, eat the damn food. You ain't got to worry about cooking. Easy. You just clean. Like, you work together. Like, it's not that serious. If it's jealousy, as far as when people say like, oh, well, I can't do that, or I can't be in that style of a relationship because
you can't share, man.
Yeah, or how am I gonna amount to the time? And it's like, time is time. Like, the time it's been done already. So whether you're starting out something new, you're starting out something new with both of us. So it's not like you coming into this and it's like, oh, they have their relationship and then I'm just supposed to build with this person or whatever. It's like, no, we're all building at the same time. One as a unit and then separately. Yeah, we have time together. And I feel like you should just use it as a cheat code. Yeah. There's certain bullshit that you're not gonna have to deal with that I had to deal with. If I can tell you like, hey, he's such and such, such and such, that you might not want to do that for whatever reason. You can do it the right way, and then it's like, oh my God, she understands me. Boom! You just passed up 5 levels. That's right. I think a lot of this perception. Like, it could have been something I dealt with for 3 years, and we finally figured out where that was coming from. And now you got a whole cheat code of how to do it, both of us, and we learning you in the process. So what if I said, oh, it's not fair because we don't know nothing about you. Now we got to figure out everything about you. Yeah, so I feel like it can go both ways. Jealousy, it can be natural, especially like if you're not used to being around other people, or if the person you feel like they're very attractive. You think they're very attractive, so of course your partner probably thinks they're attractive. So it's like, oh my God, like they're so attractive. I feel like they're attractive. What if they're more attractive than what I am? Because I think that they're gorgeous. And it's like, no, everybody is beautiful in their own way. Yeah.
She nailed it.
And what about you? We're not letting you get off the hook.
Getting off the hook.
What I see jealousy in my experience with this poly thing is like people. I see a lot of people want to like, okay, you already got an established couple you're going into. So a lot of people want to jump and be right there with the other person right away, instead of building, to get up there. Like you already talking about weddings and stuff already, instead of like, building to get there, like that's what I've seen in jealousy so far.
Oh, self-entitlement.
And self-entitlement,
yeah. It's almost like, it's like, well, I'm coming in and I'm new, so I should
have that much more time than to catch up.
There is no way that you're gonna like miraculously boom and we just all gonna be equal. That's impossible. Like, logically, that just doesn't make sense. I cannot be a brand new baby and also be 45 years old. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah. So I think that's just that logic alone. That's just common sense. It just doesn't make sense. And for somebody even to come in and think that it's going to be like that, logically, it just doesn't make sense.
I think that ties into why we, practice ethical hierarchical polyamory, because it gives kind of the best of both worlds. It allows people to be able to, prioritize whatever type of relationships they want, but at the same time build equitable relationships with other people. A lot of times people hear equal. I want to be treated as an equal. For me, all human beings are equal. So I don't want to look at a person like they're less than in that capacity. But me and Danielle have been together for over 12 years. Our relationship doesn't have anything to do with any new relationship or dynamic that we create with somebody else. But we want to allow that space to build equitable, parallel relationships that develop independently. And there's nothing wrong with that. So worry about how I give you the things that you need for our relationship to be successful, not coming in and competing with this established relationship, because it's not a competition. There is no, it doesn't even make sense. So it's good to hear somebody else actually acknowledge that, because it's just like, you can't, what did you say? You can't be a newborn baby and be 45 at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, I mean, come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
logic doesn't make sense.
I guess in your previous relationships, how did you guys manage your time for dating each other one on one and also dating together as a unit? Like going on dates, spending time with each other.
Go ahead.
All right, so our first relationship. Okay, so spending time together. Most of the time we did everything together, which I would say I work a lot. So most of my time when I'm home, I try to spend it with both of them because I'm always on the road. I travel around the United States. So they get more time together than I did one-on-one. So that was one of our problems because when I get back, I got limited time. So I try to do with both of them. And I've seen problems with that. Yeah.
Do you think that sometimes hinder you guys' relationship because you don't get the one-on-one time?
Like us, or you mean like?
Like when you
With
have
the
the other person.
Yeah, I think how would I say it? I'm trying to say this.
it hinders it.
I feel like it does, and I think it also if everybody is looking out for everybody else, then I feel like that works better. Because if I'm like, hey, like I'm cool with I'll take the kids XYZ, and I set up a date for them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that that helps. That made a big difference. Or like if I know that he's coming back in town and then I set up something special for them to go to and I surprise them with it so they can have one-on-one time and vice versa. So I feel like if everybody looks out for everybody, then it can work a lot easier.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful.
I guess with our specific dynamic, it's like they also have to understand like his work schedule and stuff is crazy. So they have to actually in real life be ready for that.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. Like
yeah.
You can be on the phone and be like, and you see him like in the airport and he's out of town, you know, like on the phone, it's like, it's so cute and stuff. And then until you get here real life, you're like, damn, it's been 2 weeks. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, that's, you know, when he was on the phone, he was gone, but it was all, you know, butterflies and rainbows at the beginning. So, but when you actually get into real life, it's a little bit different. But I'm saying all this to say is I think if everybody looks out for everybody and maybe just like being more hands-on with trying to build those, making sure that each other builds those individual relationships, because he wouldn't even do that. He'll be like, hey, he'll call me like, hey, I'm coming into town. Y'all go do what y'all need to, you know, get yourselves ready and y'all can go out once I get in. So I think that that's a good way to look at it and work that out.
Okay.
I had whispered to Dani earlier about a lot of times when we see whether it's a female male female dynamic or a female female male dynamic, both of them still including 2 women and 1 man, sometimes the relationship between the women kind of gets drowned out. The focal point tends to be on the male, or the man in the relationship, or the masculine presenting person in the relationship. How do you guys combat like, well, hey, you know, our relationship matters too? Have you ever experienced that? Do you see it yourself? Do you think it's an issue?
Yeah, it's definitely an issue. We get people all the time that tell us that they're like, oh, well, like I couldn't share my man. It's like, bro, we in a relationship together. All of us, like, what? Like, hello, like, damn. It's like, oh, well, how am I going to build with him? And I'm never going to amount to their relationship. It's like, hello, ma'am. We supposed to be building a relationship just as you building a relationship with him or with the male. It's like, I want to build a relationship with you because I want to be with you. He want to be with you. Yeah. We want to be with you. So that's how you have to look at it. And just off the rip, I think it's just like the fetishization of it, where it's like, oh, it's the guy and he has the women, and it's like, okay, well,
yeah, because we always get the props, the guys,
right?
You go there, like, good job,
and then
good job.
Together, like she put it together,
you know, sitting on the side, sideline type situation. But you know, I'll put it out there like, this is my woman, you know, like that.
Right.
So yeah, but I think it's just like in people's mind, it's just like, oh, the guy has the 2 women, and it's like, okay, the women also have relationships. We've had several different conversations with multiple people that's the first thing that come out their mouth, and it's just like, oh my God, like,
how do you share?
I have a relationship with her. He has a relationship with her. We have a relationship together, and then we have a relationship.
But at the same time, though, I got that too at work. A lot of guys were like, "Hey, how do you do it? You be on the road and your wife is with another woman. Like that's like cheating." Like it's really not, you know. Like to me, I don't look at it like that. They enjoying each other. They together too as a couple, you know. Like, but
and then
the guys think the same thing.
Yeah, when he comes back.
So,
yeah.
They think it's weird.
It's crazy the mindset that people have when it comes to that type of possessiveness. It's like, oh, it's mine, 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 and I don't want to share. And so, and you'd be surprised. There's actually some polyamorous people who still kind of hold on to that, you know, toxic, possessive, monogamous mindset when they're kind of new to polyamory, and it's hard to transition. So I can see why some of these newer relationships kind of end quicker. A lot of people haven't done the work to kind of deal with loving or maintaining multiple relationships. I think that a lot of people, it's excitement. You know, they're really excited about, like, man, you know, I get to have multiple people and everybody know about it. It's like, yeah, but also you have to be ethical. You also have to do the work. You know, it's not just like some kind of fucking free for all buffet, like grab it up as much as you can. You know.
Let me see how much I can fit in.
That's true.
That's facts.
Right.
The big thing that you said is the work. That's a good one right there. Yeah. Like a lot of people, just even in monogamous relationships or just dealing with their own self, they don't want to put in the work to actually be better, and that's a big problem. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good one.
So how can everybody reach you guys?
They can reach us on Instagram. It's _Mason, MASON, passion, PASSION _
Gotcha. Do you guys have any like upcoming projects or anything like that that people may need to look out for? Any YouTube station, podcasts, any of that good stuff?
We're considering doing YouTube,
and it's pretty much under construction on YouTube. We got to redo it, you know, because our last try we want to now revamp and
then I think and then a lot of people have like different questions and stuff. So like
we want to put a question.
Yeah, we've answered together. Like separate people, but we get so many other ones on top of us. So it's like, okay, I can't keep answering like all of these messages like individually.
So eventually we'll get around to doing that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I thank you guys for taking the opportunity to tune in. Yes. I definitely look forward to seeing you guys at Polyfest. July, if anybody's watching this, I'm always going to plug it. I mean, July 31st through August 2nd, it's in both Houston, Texas and Galveston, Texas. So we definitely hope to see you guys there. If you guys are looking for a direct link, you guys look up for the promo. We'll probably have it in the description when we put this video out on Tuesday. But other than that, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we look forward to networking with you guys in the future.
Yeah, yes, thank y'all for having us.
All right.
Yo, man. All right. Y'all take care.
Peace.
Yeah, peace.